Sat Sri Akal, Namaste, Ayubavan. This is Vinay Sood, your licensed immigration advisor and education consultant from New Zealand. We bring the information to you in ABS format, accurate, brief, and simple. In today's discussion, we are talking to one of the student who is studying her teaching, masters in teaching in New Zealand. And I believe there are number of questions around this area with the people thinking whether if they want to change their career from another area, they want to get into teaching, especially for number of our friends who are in New Zealand, and they think because of the COVID and other situation, market is, industry is in a difficult situation, and they would like to make a change where they can get into a occupation where it could lead to a migration and a good career in New Zealand. And teaching obviously is one of them, and that in between teaching, secondary, primary, and ECE sector, early childhood sector, is one of the prominent one. And I think it's very important to understand what are the challenges and what are the options available if you want to move into this area, be it you have a background, if you don't, especially it's for someone who doesn't have a background, they want to move into this area. And of course, what are the challenges and how you can get into the program. And with the recent new course, which has been established by one of the ITPs, Toy whom I a masters of teaching, there are a number of questions we come across, but fortunately today we have with us Ravneet Kaur. She is from India originally, and she has been in New Zealand for quite a few years. But of course, we will talk to her and ask all the questions and queries we keep getting around this particular area and this particular course. So without any delay, let me welcome Ravneet. Ravneet, namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, Kia ora, how are you? Welcome to our show.
Hi, Vinay. Thank you so much for giving me opportunity.
And thanks to you that you got the time out to talk to us about, because there are a number of questions we come across, and of course, as a advisor, we can guide them from the migration and from a perspective to extend their visa and settle. But from course, probably someone who is in the course would be the best person to share their experience. So before getting into the course side of it, I'm very interested to know a bit of your background, that how this is not your first course. You have a different background. Would you like to share some of your previous work experience or your education before you decided to get into teaching?
Hi, from India. I did my Masters of Biotechnology, and then I did my BEd. Then I came to New Zealand in 2016. I did my graduate diploma in resource management, level 7. But since from my childhood, I was having a passion of being a teaching qualification. That's why I did BEd back in India. When I came over here, I was searching for it, but was not getting the right information. Once I finished my studies, the resource management, I was trying to do for it. But the main challenge for me was when I came to know that you have to get the 7 bands, and I feel like I will be not able to get the 7 bands in each module. By the time I was given my studies to NZQA for the assessment, then they did the assessment for my qualification, but my BEd was done in 2013, was such a time period, like a gap of more than 5 years. Then they told me that you have to do a TER course, that's a Teacher Education Refresher Program. By the time my visa was also expiring, so I feel like my visa, how can I get into this qualification? By the time I see the this video of Vinay, then I came to know that, yeah, this master's course will be beneficial for me.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for that. But I mean, of course, you had some background. You did B.Ed way back in 2013. Am I right? Isn't it? Sometime
Yeah,
around
yeah,
13. Yeah.
13, yeah.
So, so at that time, of course, you had some inclination, but it probably I would say nothing but the confidence sometime, and of course, a bit of a practice when you're in the country, English speaking country, that of course there are, gradually you end up having a better communication anyways. So, but that was the challenge. But you went into the resource management, and when you started looking into the teaching, what steps did you take? Did you say, sorry, I missed that, you already did your NZQ assessment in India, is that correct, or you did it
No, no,
after
no,
you
no,
arrived?
no, no. I've been here. Then I did my NZQA was like in 2019. I started my this program, doing this all sort of things, the assessment and my for PT. At that time, I was like a bit worried that I have to get the 7 bands in one attempt. But then I came to know that you can mumble up 2 scores or maybe 3. So then I was like bit relief from that sort of thing that, yeah, I can go for it.
And I just for the benefit of the viewers or listeners, I would say this is important to understand that, of course, you need to have 7 in each in
Yeah,
IELTS or equivalent PTE, but there are options like where if you have done 2 tests or 3 tests, and in one test you have overall 7, maybe reading is less 6.5 or speaking, or then another one you get that 7 in reading and speaking, but in another module you have less band, so you can combine those tests. So that's what Ravneet is talking about. So I mean, hopefully, of course, it's best if you can get it in one go, but it happens like because there are 4 modules, so you end up missing out on one module, and then you concentrate on that module and you do well in that module, but you miss out any particular question or something in another module. So, but the good thing is you can combine the test. And of course, the NZQ assessment, it has become even more easier now with the online NZQ assessment. So these are the two entry, very main entry requirement. Of course, other than that, the scores if you want to get into a master degree. And of course, Ravneet, would like to ask you one question, which is about, and again, it's a very common question asked by a number of our migrant friends, potential clients who are thinking about studying in this area. They are confused that if they go for a master degree, as you know, there are other courses available which leads to the registration, but they are level 7. There's a bit of a apprehension that if you do a master degree, that it is a very high level program, which is, I mean, when you're looking at a later stage, it's not a registration program. This is, you need to end up becoming a manager in a center rather than a teacher. So did you have same kind of a confusion before the course, and what you have realized now once you are in the course?
yeah, I think so. Before even I was having all these confusions regarding that once I will be a qualified teacher. Even I was not sure that after doing completion of my master's degree, will I be able to get my registration? I was like so much confused. But by the time I came over into this course, then on first day, I just asked my tutor, will we get the registered after completion of our qualification, will we get the registration? And she just laughed, and then she said, definitely you will be a qualified teacher as well as a registered teacher. So I think so before I was very much confused regarding this, but now I am doing this course. So which will lead to a qualified as well as a registered teacher. But once you are saying like you need a position, I don't think so that for this course you need a position. Will be a qualified teacher to apply for, for the future. Yeah.
That's really important to understand, and I think that's very particularly asked this question because there's a lot of confusion around that. If you go for a higher level course in general, then you might end up
Yeah.
getting a higher position only then you are considered skilled for the migration purposes. And per se, we are talking about teaching here. So the registration is given to the course if it qualifies all the requirement to become
Yeah.
teacher, registered teacher in New Zealand. So it's not given to the level. So there are number of level 9 programs or level 7 programs which will not lead to registration in teaching because they are not approved by Teaching Council of New Zealand. So, but if it is approved, doesn't matter whether it's level 7 or level 9. So in this case, the Masters of Teaching in ECE at Toyomai, it is approved program from Teaching Council of New Zealand. So students who successfully complete the program, they are eligible to apply for registration. Well, another very important question which we come across, like doing a level 9 course, what is this like? I mean, of course there are students who have done their bachelor degree or they've done level 7 just like you. I'm talking about, of course, within the country, and of course offshore when the border opens, when students are looking to do their master degree. So how this program is like, Ravneet, would you like to give us a bit of a framework of the program, how it goes like with your classroom studies or the practicum, and how this is planned over a, I think now it is 15 months program, is that
Uh,
correct?
18 months, like, but that 3 months where we will be having a holidays. Yeah.
So would you like to give us a bit of a structure about the program, like how much is the classroom study and how much you have to go and attend the practical experience? How does that work?
Yep. I completed with my first semester. At the moment, I am doing my second semester. In the first semester, we were just having we did the 2 subjects and was having a college only for 2 days. And for the second semester, we are having a practicum, which is like the 6 weeks full-time practicum. And then it will be the 3 days in the EC center. And then it will be the 2 days in a college for the like assessments and for the further study as well. And for the third semester also, we will be having this practicum in the EC center, but that will be the different one. At the moment, I am doing at the with the young children, and in the next semester, they're gonna shuffle with the children. Like if at the moment I will be doing the young children, then I will be in the baby's room, and so to have a more experience. But I think so. This from the Toyomai, they are doing the placements for the practicum. That's a really very good thing. I really thanks to the college that they give this type of opportunity. Like we don't have to go and find a center for our placements. So yeah, it's a really very good course.
And I think one thing here you need to understand is, I mean, these programs, irrespective of the level, these programs are for, it's in real sense of really practical in nature. Like, what Ravneet said, the first semester was a bit of a classroom study, or say more so classroom study. But as soon as she got into the second and then we'll go into the third semester, it's a lot of practical exposure. You have to go to the EC center. Currently, like, in second semester, you are supposed to go there for 6 weeks,
Yeah.
5 days in a week, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then, and later on, you go 3 days in a week and 2 days in the classroom, and the third semester again. Of course, within the EC center, there are age group where you move from one age group to another age group to get the experience. So Is there any uh, Ravneet, requirement like how many hours in a day you have to spend at the center?
Yeah, at the moment, like college already gave us like so many days. It's 105 days in EC center, but I think so the requirement from the council is like maybe 70 days. So at the moment the lockdown is going on, the college is saying already you are having so many days, so you don't need to worry
Now, I
about.
mean to say, is it more about the days, or there would be number of hours? Like, is it when we say day, is it like 8 hours in a day, 7 hours in a day? How much is there any time?
Looks like it's just hours. Yes, it is
Yeah.
hours.
So
Yeah.
it would be kind of when you say, of course, the requirement is 70 days, or even in this case, you're getting more days, which is good.
Yeah.
You get more exposure and more experience, and high more the time you spend at the center, you will learn more about this profession and what need to be done and how to go about it, as compared to, of course, you need to know the theory, but that's better. But it's about you spending around 70 plus days, which is the requirement, but in this case you're doing more than 100 days, which is good, as gives you a bit of a buffer in a, especially in the COVID situation, where if you end up not attending some days, you still qualify for that. So
Yeah.
my question is, from a uh, challenges point of view, like, of course, you had some background, but that was way back, almost 8 years ago, 8 9 years ago. And when you shifted your, from going from the resource management area coming into the teaching, and that's in ECE. So apart from, of course, the entry requirement, your IELTS, the getting the NZQA done, and of course, rest of the processes, which you got the help from, help from us in that case also. But once you entered in the course, what challenges you faced, or you think that these are the, and of course, everyone might have a different view of looking at that, they find that is more difficult than other. But what was for you, what was the challenge for you when you started the program?
When I was going to start the program, the most challenge for me was the people who were saying that you will not be a qualified teacher. This was the biggest challenge for me. So then I said, even they were saying to me, Ravneet, if you will go for the level 7 course, I will guarantee you that you will definitely get a job. But if you are going for the level 9, you will not get a job. And that was the biggest challenge for me.
Right. I think I, I want to make it very neutral, but still, I think, Ravneet, we have had these discussions. And of course, I think we informed you how things are, but it's one of those things when you get into the real deal and then you started studying, then you do more research. But what is your message for the people who are, who are unsure about it? Isn't it? It's a simple way of just uh, talking to the, probably the tutor, or if of course you haven't started the course, maybe uh, go and contact the teaching council and ask them, this is the course I'm planning to do, is it registered or not? So how someone can remove that doubt what you had, and that was one of your biggest, I wouldn't say challenge, I would say biggest uh, uh, apprehension, or a question in your mind, even though you knew that, yeah, I've been told by this person, but then, so what would you suggest to those people if they are thinking on the same line, whether they can go for 7 8 9?
I think so. The best thing is to go for the Education Council website. They do have written over there that Masters of Teaching from TOEMI leads to the this teacher registration, and the second step will be to talk to Vinay. And the third thing is, like, I will say, even in my class, there are 5 boys. They are doing this course, so it doesn't matter if you do have done your Bachelor of Education. The one boy, he did the hotel management here in New Zealand. At the moment, he is doing the same course in EC. So I think so this course is a really good for the boys as well as for the girls as well.
That's really good feedback, Ravneet. I think one is, of course, this is one of those programs you do not need to have, according to the requirement, you don't need to have only education background or a degree in education. So you can come from any
Yeah,
background and do this course. And more so, what you said, like, it's not gender specific. Understand, usually say, okay, it's a more ECE teaching, so maybe more, you know uh, more preferred by females than male. But like you said, probably out of 22, am I correct, 22
yeah,
students in your class, five are the male. So of course there's a good mix. And I think in the ECE centers, what my understanding is, of course, it is good to have that combination, because of course, as a like female bring a different perspective, so do the male as a teacher. And I mean, of course, we are in 21st century, so we shouldn't be talking about what is can be done by this specific or that specific gender, but it's more about what you are interested in. If you go from there. So if I may ask you, what this uh, course entails, like a bit of a idea on the what type of assignments are you are doing, like be it the theory assignment or the practical, what kind of assignments are there? Would you like to share a bit of that with us?
yeah. The assignments are most of the critical reflection. When I came to this course, I was not aware about what's this critical reflection. So I think so most of the assignments are on the reflection, because every time teacher have to reflect. So what if she's telling the names in the English, she will reflect, oh, did I tell that color's name in English if I have told that color's name in Mori? And how can like make the interest of the children to make it more, like they should learn things more rather than they just disappear, not listen to the teacher. So the assignments are more of the critical reflection.
So is it more the assignments are around that, okay, I mean, I think it's more to when you're going to the practicum, that what did you do in last week? You're reflecting on your activities and all that stuff. Is that correct?
Yeah, and we have to make a portfolio as well. It's like the 6 teaching standards of this profession. So for every standard, we have to take an evidence what you did to, if you have to extend the, suppose if a child is having an interest in the drawing, what you gonna do for the extend his or her learning, and then you have to evaluate was it goes in a right or a wrong way.
And how about the course? Is it like the assignments for the practicum are different from the assignments you get it, like the classroom assignment, or they are all similar?
Somehow they are similar. We can't say that it's like totally different. What we have learned in first semester is now what we are applying at the moment. Like we have done the sort of literature work, the teaching strategies, which strategies we shall follow, and now we have to follow all these things. Oh, if the like some of the children, they are very, we can't say this word naughty. By the time I've been to this profession, I was thinking that I can say this word, but now I'm this profession, I can say that, yeah, this child is naughty.
And how about you? You talk about Theodore Maury, and I think we did have that discussion way back when you were having your apprehensions about how I'm going to manage that. It's not that easy, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
What do you have to say now when you start practicing that? And of course, the importance of the Fariki, the syllabus content, and then the requirement of the ministry. So what do you have to say? How comfortable now you feel with the, of course, at a starting level with the speaking in Teoro?
Yeah, at that time I feel like it is really very hard, but now I really started enjoying learning Mori, like even saying Itu to stand, Inoho to sit. I'm really enjoying these to learn the Mori language. It's really very
Superb.
interesting.
Superb. Good on you, Ravneet. Ravneet, just we conclude this our very informative discussion. Do you have any message for the uh, the potential student or the our friends in New Zealand who are thinking about, okay, with the current scenario, what should I do, and they consider teaching as an option, and then then they look at it. Uh, Teaching, you have to go through the NZQA, IELTS, PT, and then get into. Otherwise, they just move from level 7 to level 9, any other course. So, any message from you, people who are thinking about changing a career and getting into teaching, but they have that doubts? Do you have some few words of wisdom for them?
I think so. Those who are married, this course is really good for them because their partner will get a open work visa, and after
Oh,
complete.
that's my job.
No, but even for my case also, it was
Yeah.
really helpful for me.
Yeah, I would say, sorry to cut you here, just to being a licensed advisor, to talk on the immigration side of it. So of course, the one of the very important benefit doing a level 9 program is that if you're married, you have a partner, or you have a
Yeah.
partner, they'll be eligible, or he or she will be eligible for a full-time work rights. But of course, having said that, it is same for any other level 9 program. So the when we getting into the teaching, of course, it is again a level 9, which was earlier, there was very limited options, and I think it's a very good option for families who are want to stay, and then you can get the benefit for your kids if want to get that school benefit also, that is there. So sorry, I interrupted you, Ravneet. I thought just to in, intruding in for that thing, considering probably, but so go on. What was you saying about giving a message to the?
I think so. Like if the nowadays the immigration rules are getting hard and hard, especially for the pay rise as well. I think so. This course, if you have done this course, you don't need to worry about the pay as well. You after completion of your course, you will definitely get a good pay as well, which will leads to the residency. So it doesn't matter if you are a man or like you don't need to worry about the that boys they don't do. Even at the moment in my class there are 5 men who are doing this course, and 4 of them they are married having 2 children as well. They are doing the same course with me. So I think so this course is really helpful. Those who are really struggling here in New Zealand, just go and grab this opportunity.
No, thank you so much, Ravneet. I think that's a, if I conclude or brief at what we discuss, of course, there are challenges to enter in this program or in teaching area, of course, but be it going through the NZQA, doing the English proficiency test, be it IELTS or PT or equivalent, and then you need to have a reasonable score to get into the program. But all that is worth because of the outcome of the programs. And of course, it's very practical, and very importantly, which you highlighted, is just doesn't matter whether you're male, female, changing your area. This would be worth considering as an option, considering all the benefits associated, not only while you're studying level 9 with the family benefits for your partner as well as your children, but after the course, when we talk about it, it's one of the good pay, a good paid job, being a teaching industry. And of course, there's so many things going on with the increase of the pay scale for the teachers, which I mean, it's not confirmed, but of course there's more things going on that regard. So of course you're in the right direction when you take this first step. Thank you so much, Ravneet, for your time, and
Thank you
we
so much,
really
sir.
appreciate it.